We on.
Oh, freedom.
This is the reason why I've canceled.
We're gonna do one more. Community to hell up. Right? You want to know about community to hell up. I know this one.
You believe in freedom and not rest until it comes. You believe in freedom and not you talking to you. You believe in freedom and not rest until it comes. Until grandmother's son is as important as the killing of white mother's son. You believe in freedom and sing it with me if you like. You believe in freedom and the older I get, the better I know, and the secret of my freedom is in the razor in the hands of the young who dare to roll against the storm. Cause to me, young people come first. They have a courage where we fail. I can go some light away. Carry us through the day. We believe in and we talk and say, we will believe in not needing to
You could be over there if you want to be on camera. We going live. Yeah, you can book right here. No, I said you can hold it up. I was just giving you an opportunity to be seen on camera. Peace.
Yo.
Yo.
Peace. So thank everybody for being here. We're gonna give an official thank you and welcoming very soon. But as always, to get us started, we're gonna start with libation. For those who are viewing in, we are right in front of Bedford Hills prison, where our sisters, trans community, and non-binary folks are being held. And today we are having a candle vigil. We'll talk more about the details about the reasons why we are here.
And now we're going to have to close the because you guys didn't get consent from the superintendent or the commissioner. This is our property over here. You can't be here. No, this is New York State docs property. This belongs to the county.
What about putting the bricks over there?
That's fine.
On the bricks.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. To the community online, we about to move. The state trying to move us. So just stay tuned.
I got a bag for the books. And move in. You got it? Gotta go back over there. We're going there. Off-road tires on that. Huh? Got the off-road tires.
So what are the specifics on moving? Well, I think to come over there.
Oh, thanks. Still meeting.
Likewise.
Hey.
You gonna be right there.
Ain't going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere.
People come there like, oh, yeah. You right here? Right. Probably gonna,
Let's see what you said.
yeah, the wall. We said we got it. This is the wall. Yeah. It's close to 5%.
Yeah, just a little more.
You said the wall.
Yeah.
This is the wall. So meaning that tree? That's the tree. That's what I'm thinking like all this right here. This whole land right here. That's a useful guidepost. The tree. This is the wall here. Yeah.
If we put the camera by the tree and keep it right at the facility sign, then you're going to keep the camera. You're going to see that like, the kind of sign.
Sorry, You're coming back to us again. You look at the witness job. Gave you a nice solid light. Here we go with the bullshit. You should just stop going and take it. All in the way. Right. We're gonna have to go past this street. Yeah, we're gonna have to go past this street right there. You gotta go past the second street. My friend, guys.
How you doing? I'm Caroline.
Oh, Lord. Okay, black and brown. So then we should have but once they realize, see from those windows.
To the street.
Thank you so much.
You shooting right into the sun.
That's what I said. That's why I have to turn the camera.
Yeah, maybe there on this one right here. I don't know.
You right. I'm gonna put your jacket on. Yeah. Frank Brown. Frank Brown, chairperson of Northeast Political Prison Coalition. All right. Likewise. Thank you. Appreciate you letting me know too about the sunlight, because you was right. Brother, you gotta make sure you face this way. I gotta put the camera this way because the sun.
Okay.
Always good to see you, man. So I can have the camera.
Oh, freedom over me. I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom.
I say. I appreciate how we just move as one, right? We protect each other, hold each other down, and continuing to uplifting of, our women, our sisters, our trans community on the inside, right? We ain't gonna let nobody turn us around. You understand? And we ain't gonna let injustice turn us around, right? We ain't gonna let prison turn us around. So, so appreciate everybody still staying strong with us as we, go through our own state violence, right? As we uplift our sisters in trans community and non-binary communities and families on the inside. As always, as I said, we want to, start with the libation. As always, we want to start with a libation. And as we know, libation is an ancient African ritual to pay homage to our ancestors, pay homage, right, to our history. And history is very important because without history, there's no future. Without understanding our history and understanding the lessons from our history, there is no future. And that's why we pay homage to our ancestors, right? We also give praise and thanks to the Most High, the creatress of all of the cosmos, the deities, Orishas, God, right? We understand, spirituality comes in different variations, different shapes, different colors, different understandings. And as I said, libations is a way for us to connect with the ancestry, connect with our spirituality. And we pour to the ancestors who have poured on us and who have given back to us. So we are a representation of our ancestors.
Indeed, we are our ancestors, Ashe. And we pour for those who are fighting injustice globally, right? Genocide that is happening here in the Americas, but also globally. And that we are all connected in this struggle, in this fight, I say. And we pour to our sisters, our trans community, non-binary community, brothers as well who are locked down, who are fighting off the injustice of the belly of the beast inside. And this is the reason why we are here, because they have called on to us. And so we pour out to them to continue that fight and struggle. And we pour into the next generation. We pour to the next generation because there is still life after us. We are our ancestors. And the next generation will continue that fight and struggle. And as I said, if there is no understanding of history, there is no understanding of our future. So we must have a future. And there will be another generation after this one who will continue that fight and struggle. I said. And we pour to all of our ancestors who have poured into us. I said. Peace to our family here. So just want to make sure y'all with us. So thank everybody again for being here. Right, clap it up, scream loud. Yeah. Make sure our family can hear us, right? Because we told folks we coming outside, right? We coming outside, right? So we want to thank the organizations and groups that came out here today to support us. Right, shout out to the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition. Shout out to Holla How Allows You Go Together. Shout out to Surviving Punishment. Shout out to RAP, the recent aging people in prison. Shout out to the New York City Justice Care Network. Shout out to Women Building Up. I say. Shout out to the People Senate and many other folks who. New Hour. Shout out to New Hour. Thank you, New Hour. I say. And I know. Exactly. And I know many other folks wanted to be here with us today, right? And they are here with us in spirit. So we know that no matter what, they are still with us. And with that, we want to, give an introduction. I'm going to pass the mic to the chairman of the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition, Brother Frank Brown.
Peace and love, comrades. Thank you for being here to do what we came to do. The Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition was founded by Sekou Odenga after over 33 years of incarceration. He knew that there was others like him that needed to come home. The Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition consists of community activists, organizers, and also former political prisoners. And we are focused on bringing home political prisoners, not allowing them to be forgotten and not allowing them to die in prison. So we thank you for being a part of this work, because we know that we don't do it alone, but we are organizing ourselves and others to be a part of this work, because it's going to take all of us to do this job, because all of us possess various talents to heighten the ideas regarding political prisoners and letting our people know that they are political prisoners. They're not terrorists and they're not criminals. They are people who stood up, fought back, and because of that, the state counted, and now they're in prison. We recognize Joy Power as being a political prisoner. We salute her.
Free Joy Power.
Free Joy Power.
Free Joy Power.
Free her now.
Free her now. Free her more.
And we recognize that she's doing work inside to raise awareness about the violence that's been going on in Bedford Hills Correctional Facility. So we honor her by being out here because she let us know what she wants us to do, and we made a commitment to getting it done. So she still has a voice. She will not be silenced. And we out here because we know that to silence them and to not let them be heard is to just take sides with the state, to say that it's okay for them to be treated violently. It's okay for them to be tortured. Because even when you're in prison, you still have rights. You still have rights as a human being. And we're out here to raise awareness about that. And we call on those who are viewing to share, hit like, share with as many people as possible. And let's do the work that needs to be done to free our political prisoners, to make sure those who are mistreated in prison are going to be vindicated one way or another.
Peace. Give it up for Frank and the Northeast political prisoners. Free the land. Free them all. Free the land. Free them all. What's the call?
Free them all.
Wake up, man. Holla, we are babies of the Bedford Hills sisters. That's actually, we literally learned how to heal in circles from what I want our words to do. While we was reflecting on how we kick it with our parents, how we raise children while we fathers in prison, and how do we come home and be better, not only as individuals but better family people and community people. And it was, a lot of these women that we see on this poster right here. We also babies of the Green Haven think tank, the non-traditional approach. And it's an honor to be here in front of Bedford Hills, to continue trying to give back to sisters and to a movement that gave to us. So shout out to all of the women out here today who spend time in prison. Shout out to all of our former political prisoners that's outside here today with us, Laura and others. Shout out to the people here who spend time in this prison, this cage right here. We are here today because besides coming from the legacy and supporting political prisoners, our community, we are the prison. The prison is part of our community, right? And the prison is attacking our community, right? And it snatches our families from our community. So we're connected to that because we know we got to be more connected to what's going on with our people when they leave out of the neighborhood. And we was able to get word from the leadership inside of Bedford Hills, the women, the trans people. They told us that it was a lot of silence to the violence going on inside, and that the community needed to come outside, and they needed an investigation, and they needed people to kind of bring awareness to this. We started going inside, interviewing some of the sisters that experienced some of this violence. So we are out here today because the leadership inside Bedford Hills asked us. They really wanted this on October 1st, man. So we was a couple of days late on this. But they really wanted us to come out. They still want us to share the word right here. There's a press release coming out. They want an independent investigation to the violence that is going on by police officers and the administrative violence as well, right? And they need more community people to go inside the prisons, to be their eyes and to be their hearts. Dr. Ori, in his book right here, Tip of Despair, he said that prisons are war, right? Prisons are race war, class war, colonization, and counterinsurgency. So when our families are locked up in prison, they are some of our people that's in the deepest part of the war, right? And it's important for us to understand that we need all of our people, and I'm glad that I was able to make it out here with my mom. Shout out to my moms, Mother Green. We had to get on the Metro North today. We had to take the train, but she also understood that it's important that our community come out when it's time to stand up for and fight for war. So with that being said, I'll pass it back to Giselle. Yes. No, this is very important, and so we thank everybody, for continuing this long struggle. And as Corey said, this is also about um, the relationships that we have with our family on the inside, right? Um, People who become forgotten because of the state, right? Right. I've never been to a prison until I met Reverend Joy Powell, right? And I think that's very important, that people understand what our communities are going through on the inside. I remember coming here and I seen a family, and one of the young children of the family didn't want to leave because they didn't want to leave their aunt. Yeah, they was like, nah, you should come home with us. That was their response. Why you can't come home with us? Right? So we got a real problem when we talk about the criminal punishment system, when we talk about safety in our communities, and who are we really trying to save, right? And we already know. So I think it's very important that we continue to struggle in this fight. So we are putting out a press release for a full investigation on the violence that's been happening to the women here in the trans community in Bedford Hills. And we will be sending this out today, posting it on our website, and sharing it with the other organizations and groups that we are calling forth to also be a part of this investigation. Black women abuse, assault in Bedford Hills Correctional Facility. On August 3rd, 2024, a woman was brutally assaulted inside Bedford Hills Correctional Facility by security personnel. This incident caused an uprising amongst those incarcerated. During the uprising, many incarcerated women were assaulted by correctional officers. Following the incident, Bedford Hills Correctional Facility has put 8 women in solitary confinement. The women in Bedford Hills are asking that the public be made aware of the violence that has transpired, making them all vulnerable to unprovoked attacks by rogue staff. In addition, we, How Our Lives Link All Together, and the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition are asking family, friends, media, community supporters to call the Office of Special Investigations at 1-877-246-1453 and ask for a transparent investigation on the violence that is happening to the women in Bedford Hills Correctional Facility. We need the community to educate, agitate, and organize the people around this issue. This is news of the people, by the people, for the people, and it is worthy of knowing. It reminds the public to critically reflect on whose stories become news and ask ourselves, at what point do we believe them? We therefore call you to take action on this matter. 1, by reposting this press release and spreading the information that is occurring on Bedford Hills Correctional Facility everywhere. And 2, by supporting HOLLA and NEPPC in furthering the investigation and covering this developing story. Efforts are being made to bring this situation attention to the Prison Radio, Columbia University Apartheid Divest, Democracy Now!, People's Senate, Curve Fest National Team, the People's Church, Blacks Unite for Solidarity, Black Men Build, Amsterdam News, RAP, The Worker, Our Times Press, What's Happening 99.5 FM, as well as many other community organizations and media outlets. Thank you. And with that, we would like to start bringing speakers up to have a few words to share. We would like to bring up Releasing Aging Peoples in Prison, RAP Representative Jose Saldana. Please, please, please.
Thanks everybody, and peace and blessings on all. I'm the director of the Release Aging People in Prison campaign. We embrace the humanity of all incarcerated people. We embrace their humanity 100% and their dignity. And we are mobilizing our community to create a human justice movement without exclusion. We bar none. We don't exclude anybody from justice because they didn't exclude anybody. You know, when they launched their racist policies of mass incarcerations on us, they didn't discriminate. All of us are subject to these racist policies. So they made this a human rights issue, and that's what it is. Mm. So we don't exclude anybody from human justice. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to mobilize the people so that every incarcerated person in the state of New York has a meaningful opportunity to return back to their family and community. Yes, yes. I just want to say one thing that, you know, we have to call on investigation on the atrocities that's happening, not only in this prison, but the prisons across the state. Well, ultimately, it's on us to build a movement so that we can hold them accountable. Right. Because they're really not going to hold each other accountable. Right. We're the ones that have to hold them accountable, and then we determine what that accountability will look like, as opposed to allowing them to define justice and then to define what accountability is for us. On that note, I just want to tell everybody thanks again for being here. Peace and blessings. And as long as we're out here, as long as one of us is out here, our voices are not silent. Thank you, thank you. No apology. We also like to bring up Nicole Scott from NYC Peer Initiative to say a few words if you can.
It's fine. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. When I was asked to be here, my main purpose was
Good.
I work here in that building right behind us for a long time. So I would say everything the woman is saying is true. Mm. Some male officers are very handsy, is what I call it. Unnecessary, excessive. Don't have a mental health issue. Administration won't even investigate that. That's just a casualty of you have a mental health issue. Huh? Oh, yeah. Okay. Because then it gets taped up. So, and I'm going to call that number myself because, yes, the Inspector General needs to do something ASAP. No one is defined by their worst mistake. Yes, yes. And I don't believe that you should be dehumanized because you made a mistake. That's not what it's power tripping. That's what it's called. And that's not really what the job is. It's not in your, journals due to power trip. Care, custody, and control. And abusing women, care, custody, control. None of them go together. So I'm definitely here for anything you need me to do. And glad to be here with all you warriors.
Sister Nicole. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. I hope you hear us.
Breakfast sisters!
Breakfast sisters! Appreciate you! Yeah!
Keep that power going. Yes, free them all.
Free them all!
Free them all.
Free them all!
Thank you. Thank you. We would also like to share a statement from Alexandria Heath, which is one of the women on the inside who shared us a story of the abuse that she went through on August 3rd. Hello, my name is Alexandria, and I'm suffering from the violence behind the prison and still suffering. All I ask is for you guys to do anything that you can to help us women in Bedford Hills and other facilities. I appreciate you guys coming out tonight, and thank you. This violence has to stop. Peace and blessings. And to my Muslims, alaikum salam. Ashe, Ashe.
We hear you, Alexandria.
Yes, yes, yes. Free Alexandria.
Free Alexandria!
We would also like to call up survivors and punishment so they can also give a statement. I believe their representative is not here, so I apologize about that. We would also like to call up Women Building Up to share a statement.
It's a pleasure to be here tonight.
Violence going on inside Bedford Hills for the women and trans people. We're trying to stop the violence.
From all of us at Women Building Up, we show up for you on the outside, for what's going on the inside. We send you peace and love. Can you speak English? We send you peace and love from Women Building Up.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's great, that's great. We also was introduced, and all this is also, a lot of organizing that Reverend Joy Powell has been doing on the inside as well. So free Rev Joy.
Free Rev Joy!
Free Rev Joy, who also has been a light, a beacon for a lot of the women in trans community on the inside, right? Supporting a lot of the sisters, uh, advocating for them, consoling them, having conversations, being connected with them, right? And it's because of Reverend Joy Powell that she connected us to the trans community and the women on the inside to really hear about their story. One of our, one of the people that we got to meet is a trans man named Braxton. Braxton has been on the inside for at least 3.5 years and has been going through all kinds of violence from the guards due to their gender and sexuality, right? And that's a shame. That is not right. And Braxton knows that we are here for them today, right? Feels our energy and spirit. also wants us to continue this work to bring out the heinous crimes that is happening to the women and trans community on the inside, right? Because the violence is very complex and intersectional. You understand, right? Not just the violence from the guards onto the women, but also between relationships. So it's very, very complex. The violence that the women are going through, that the trans community are going through, and that is not a place for healing. That is not a place for transformation, right? There's no programs happening for our communities on the inside. You understand? Like the Bedford Hills sisters in the 1960s and 70s who was creating programs for each other, that they do not have that. You understand? So we need to continuously fight for them because we are the hope and they are our hope, right? In the non-traditional approach to criminal and social justice, which was a framework created by men and women in prison about the criminal punishment system and the social systems, because of that, Black and brown people became the majority of the prison system, right? So that was a critical framework, and from that framework, they said that there is no prison problems but community problems. That everything that you see in the prison, you can see it 100% in our community. And that's where it started, right? So the violence in our community is what have to be changed. So when the women and trans community come home back to our communities, they have safe spaces to be, right? And that is very important because most of the money that the state gets goes to the correction, goes to prison, does not go to supporting in the survival of our community, right? In the education of our young people. So that's very important. So Braxton, we're with you. Free Braxton.
Free Braxton.
Braxton is coming home in May next year. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Braxton has a son.
Also, Braxton has certain medical diagnosis, and according to these state laws, they are not supposed to be in the shoe. They're not supposed to be in the box. And not only have they been getting attacked, they've been getting boxed and shoed despite their medical situation. So I just want to underscore that. And Braxton has a son. Jaden. 11 years old. Yeah. And yeah. Just want to add that piece too.
Exactly. Because and this is about humanizing each other. They alienate us so we don't understand and see each other. Don't care for Braxton. Don't care for Alexandria. Don't care for Reverend Joy Powell. Don't care for Mania. Right? This is a part of that alienation, that separation. So for when a lot of our community members who go to prison, we forget them. Right? And so this is very important that we let them know that we are here with them and that their stories remain with us forever and that we have relationships forever. So thank you. Next, I would like to bring up New Hour. If y'all would like to say a few words, affirmation, thank you.
I'm Serena, the director of New Hour, but more importantly, I'm a woman who did my time right here. So looking at that place that continues to create oppression, I did 3 years there. The 5 women I see on this in front of me did that time with me, and they were my mother. They were the women that held me up. They're not there anymore. They're home doing this work on the outside. But to know that there are people standing out here like us, it makes all the difference. So today we send all of our
prayers and our power and our energy and our spirit to all of the women behind these bars. Free Pam Smart. Free EVA Di Molina. EVA. Free EVA. Free each of our sisters.
Free them all.
Free them all. And we picked up an infant from this very facility because the powers that be said, we won't let that infant stay with their mother for no reason other than that she had survived and had filed a complaint against an officer. That is the retaliation that happens to women behind bars for standing up against assault and harm. This isn't happening just at Bedford. It's happening on Long Island in our jails. Right now, an officer's been indicted for demanding oral sex from a woman behind an area that had no video camera. This is a perpetual problem that happens not just here, but across the U.S. and in every jail and prison in our nation. And this is why I had to be here today, because this is what grounds us. This is the work that we do to continue to fight for our sisters behind bars, because they need to know we're here. We're here with them in spirit, in body, in mind, in soul. And we are going to break down these prison walls. Eventually, we are going to end the incarceration of our people. Free them all. Free them all.
Free them all.
Free them all.
Free them all.
Free them all.
Free them all. Free them all. Free them all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, this is a continuous fight. A continuous fight. Thank you for sharing that, please. That's devastating, inhumane. Can you believe that somebody will strip a babies from their mother? That's the type of society we live in. That is the America we know. Genocide. Genocide. And with that, I would also like to bring up our comrades from People Senate for them to also say a few words.
Shout out to everyone that's represented out here. Shout out to all that are enslaved here at Bedford Hills. All who are enslaved here at Bedford Hills, all who are enslaved across these domestic colonies and external colonies and across this globe, which this particular genocidal hegemonic state referred to as the United Slavers happens to be the most accomplished in terms of enslavement in the world right now, and perhaps the world over throughout history. This is the genocide, this is the enslavement that this particular so-called state, this corporation of the United Slavers, is hell-bent on maintaining. A genocide for profit model, a slavery for profit model that it exports the world over and has been doing since its inception, and yet wants to claim an exceptional place for itself in the world as the policeman of the world, when it is in fact the chief slaver on earth and has been for centuries. So how does that make sense? How does it make sense? We're talking about violence. We're talking about a corporate genocidal slaver state that always wants to talk about violence everywhere else, when it's violence, the very fact that we have overseers and slavers attempting to disconnect us visually and auditorily from our family on the inside, purposefully. They literally go as far as to say, no, you can't go here. You have to go over here. Otherwise, those that we're enslaving right now and subjecting to genocide and rape and torture, we can't allow them to see you. That would be violence to us as the slavers. That's violence to us who are actual human beings who bleed and who have hearts. This is above their hearts. And if you don't feel this right now,
pardon. This is above your heart right now. The fact remains, we are being subjected to genocide on a second per second basis. And our family members are being subjected to even worse torture on a second per second basis. And they don't even want them to be able to see us supporting them. What is that? Where are we in 2024 in the so-called seat of democracy that is in fact the chief genocidaire, the chief slaver across the world? And we have melanated people attempting to tell us that we're in the wrong for wanting to connect with our people on the inside. Where are we? What kind of place is this? We have people like Reverend Joy Powell who are inside right now because they want to intervene in this reality. They want to have youth programs because they have been subjected, they have been exposed tragically to what this system really is. And so they want to make sure that our youth recognize what they are actually coming up in. The belly of the beast, the innards, the disgusting innards of genocide and enslavement that's been going on for more than half a millennium out here. That's what the tribunal in 2021 was about. That was why there was a total media whiteout then, like now, like any time, when we're being direct and clear about the forces that we are up against out here, and that our ancestors and the sisters inside of places such as this and across these blighted domestic colonies have been saying for the longest. Sister Asada Shakur told us they were practicing enslavement in her autobiography, and they wish that she was still inside one of these death camps, one of these slave plantations. And thankfully, free Asada, free them all, and thankfully she is not here in the heart of genocide, and she has to be in exile because of the mess that this Babylon system has us confronting every single second. And so this, all of which is to say, we have to build the People's Senate, not because any individual says so, but because we are stronger when we coordinate our efforts against this beast that tries any chance they get to separate us from one another. And we're seeing this right now. We see this anytime we show up to these prison plantations. They don't want us visiting. They don't want us writing. They digitize through letters to divorce us from our reality. And that's what they do on all levels, in all people activities across the board. And that is what genocide is. Let us remember what genocide is fundamentally. Genocide is not just what started a year ago on October 7th. They have been practicing genocide on the people of Palestine for decades and over a century now. And don't let them confuse us about these realities. And once we converge on these realities, they cannot win. They lose. And that's why they do such petty nonsense and say, no, you have to move 100 feet this way. Otherwise, the people that we are, they already know what's good. So what are you trying to separate them from? That human connection, because they are inhuman. These are inhuman policies. Let's build the People's Senate because it's only us. It's only through us connecting that we actually can confront this beast. It is a multi-dimensional beast. It's an intergenerational beast, and they try and sever us from one another. The only way we defeat them is through connecting with one another as heads like Reverend Joy Powell, heads like Sister Afia Siddiqui, and countless others. I'm reminded of the Move women whenever I'm in one of these, in proximity to one of these plantations. The first time I visited Reverend Powell, immediately flooding back, was visiting with those sisters and how they just changed the very fabric of the atmosphere around them. And that's why they want to separate us from them. That's why they don't want us to hear the voices of Brother Veronza Bowers, the voices of Brother Jalil Muntakim, the voices of Sister Laura Whitehorn right here, and the voices of revolutionaries that recognize having been exposed directly to the fangs of this system. That is our very front line. If we don't support our political prisoners, prisoners of war, prisoners of conscience, then we don't support ourselves, because they know more than anyone else what the system is about, and we need to educate ourselves on what the system is about if we're going to get up from under it. And we have literature here on building the People's Senate. I trust you are all aware we are building against genocide
And it takes all of us. And I love and appreciate all of us that are here, all of you for being here and for your commitment to conquer this beast that is long overdue to be dismantled. Free them all.
Free them all. Free them all. Free them all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, enough said. Enough said. We must form unity to fight against this beast, right? We'll soon get to the lighting of the candle and the prayer. We'll also like to hear words from the chairman of the Nazi Children's Prison Coalition to say a few words. I'm pleased to be here with everybody and let everybody know that it's always important that we take a position, that we take a stance against what's going on. Because to be silent is to say that it's okay for those who are in prison to be mistreated. And now we have candles in our hands, and we have our own media, right? Black Power Media has gave us a platform to give them a platform. So let us understand that we are being heard. Black Power Media has over 50,000 subscribers. So we have the potential to get this message to a number of people. So we all have to make sure that we do what we do on our part, which is to share it with as many contacts as possible and tell those contacts to share it as well. I was trying to have a call from Reverend Joy Powell to come in. I don't know if the call is going to be able to come in. They've been trying to disrupt our communication. So they're trying to disrupt our communications. I was trying to, get a statement from Braxton earlier, and they were saying how their mail wasn't going through. So, they're always watching us, they're always surveilling us. One thing they wanted me to also mention is some names. They wanted me to mention some names. So they said, Officer Shenko, who's a part of the woman beater team, right? So we need to remember that Officer Shenko.
Shame on you.
Right, Officer Shenko, we know who you are now.
We see you.
All right, we see you. And for those who follow Officer Shenko, we see you.
We see you.
Right. We're gonna get names and numbers, and we're gonna share that. We're gonna make sure that we expose those who are hurting our families on the inside are exposed and dealt with. Officer Williams,
we see you.
Williams, we see you.
We see you. We see you.
We see you. Right? And yeah, we gotta make these people uncomfortable.
Take their pension.
Uncomfortable. Right? Because our family, we are going through genocide. Uncomfortable. You understand? So this is the type of war that we are in the war that we are up against. So we thank everybody again for coming here, right? Bedford Hills Sisters!
Bedford Hills Sisters!
We are with you!
We're with you!
Free them all!
Free them all!
Free them all!
Free them all!
Ashe. As we come to the lighting of the candles, does anybody want to say a few words that have been spoken? Yes, of course.
I'm so glad to be here. I'm with Jose. I'm from RAP. I'm Laura Whitehorn, big time in the federal system. I want to say two things. One is we have already pushed this struggle forward because I can say when you're inside, the thing that is going to protect the women inside is their own resistance, which then gets people out here to resist. And the cops notice, they back down like the bullies they are. So it's really important for us to be out here. I also just want to say, how many people have heard of the Advocacy? How many people have heard of the August Rebellion? Right. The August Rebellion happened right here. Carol Crook, who is on that banner, was a brilliant jailhouse lawyer, and the cops, because she was filing on behalf of the other women, and because it was their own power, they weren't calling some fancy law firm or some shit like that. They were defending themselves. That was a threat to the state. So they beat the shit out of her. They put her in the hole, and all the women in Bedford rebelled. They had to bring in, it was a couple of days, they had to bring in the state troopers, and everyone should go home and go to Mr. Google and Google the August Rebellion, and you will get many tales about it. It was one of the many rebellions that happened after Attica, because Attica was a revolution. It was also a massacre, but it was a revolution. So I just wanted to promote that, because we're out here and the women inside are the resistors who need our understanding and support. And by learning about the things that women too have done to resist inside. And it's important, guys. Okay, thank you. And thank you, Hala, and Northeast Politically, which I'm a member of too, but won't say that, for organizing this.
Ashe. So please look up the August Rebellion. What year?
1974.
1974 August Rebellion. Look that up, about the rebellion that the sisters had on the inside. Self-determination, fighting for themselves. Very important.
I want to read the article. We got some of the citations.
Word, you hit up the QR code, you can get to the article on how restorative justice co-opted and a part of program pacification, instilling of our knowledge from the Black liberation tradition, and for the non-traditional approach to criminal and social justice. And a lot of the work that the sisters and brothers are doing on the inside to transform the healing process, right? That work doesn't get talked about, right? Because that came from us, right? Not from the scholars, right? So very important. Sorry. Did anybody else want to say a few words as we come to the candlelight?
Hi, I'm Karen. I'm Karen. I'm a member of also Westpac and certain families of Westchester. You're Western from here. Well, Rafi has a friend. This is Rafi. He has a friend right now, Bedford, and her name is Sarah Riley. Excuse me. I've met her also, and she's been trying to get out. She's been abused. She's a journalist too, and she writes for different criminal magazines. Solitary Watch. Focus. Okay, so she's trying to get out information too, and she thinks because of that she's been harassed. So they took her typewriter, and they get back to her finally. I don't know what else is happening, but she's also been asking Governor Hochul for clemency. So she'd like people to write in her name, to ask for these kind of call. So anyway, we're feeling for her.
What's her name again?
Her name is Sarah Kiley. She's trans. She's a trans woman. Yeah, and she's been harassed. Okay, so you want to say anything else, Rafi? So you just want to call Governor Hochul for her clemency. That would be great. That's what she wants. And to ask for her, is great because she needs to get out now, and she'll be very happy with this. She knows about her, so that's why we're going to do that. Yeah.
Say her name.
Thank you. Yeah.
Free Sarah Collins! Free Sarah Collins! Free Sarah Collins! Free Sarah Collins!
Thank you.
Thank you. Does everybody have a candle? Let's make sure everybody has a candle.
Okay. Yeah. Would anybody like to do the honors of saying a prayer for us who feels spiritually inclined? That's it. I will lead us in prayer. That's as I can. Everything is prayer. We in ceremony. We already in ceremony, so we always in ceremony.